The Westeinde in The Hague has changed 1,000 times over the centuries, but the house of Assendelft still stands. It squats like a shadow among embassies and ulcers, its stones blackened by rain, its windows reflecting nothing but light. Martijn van Loon, a historian writing about Dutch nobility, arrived in the winter. He had heard rumors of Catharina, a ghost bride who would not release her grip on the house. Locals warned him. The room on the 3rd floor has been locked for decades. Visitors complained of doors that breathe, shadows that lean too close, and the sound of sight just beyond the door. But Martijn was determined. He had written exposés about witches, graveyards and abandoned hospitals. He considered himself immune. The caretaker unlocked the heavy door with trembling hands. "One night only," the old man rasped. "And if you hear her at your bed, don't let her touch your skin. Once she does, she keeps you." Martijn laughed, but his voice sounded too loud in the empty house. The room smelled of rotten perfume, a mix that clung to the lungs. A bed draped in moth-eaten fabric crouched in one corner, and across from it, a door sealed with stone, bricked over centuries ago. Martijn swore he heard a heartbeat behind it. At midnight, the handle of the door rattled softly, patiently, as if someone waited with the endless calm of the dead. Martijn froze, pen in hand. Then he felt it. Fingers, cool and damp, stroking across his forehead. He snapped upright, but no one stood near. Only the chair at his foot of his bed, empty. Though it had not been there before. His candle sputtered, the flame stretched long, as though pulled by breath from the brick door. He dreamt, if it was a dream, of corridors twisting into infinity, Catherine herself drifting through them. Her lips were red, too red, and her hair spread around her like smoke underwater. Her voice slid into his skull. "They buried me alive in shame, but shame burns hotter than love." Martijn woke gasping. His sheets smelled of earth. His notebook, left closed, now contained words he had not written. "Dig for me, free me." The next evening, curiosity became obsession. Martijn descended into the cellars, lantern trembling in his hand. The vaults stretched beneath the house like veins. The walls were damp with centuries of tears. And there, a brick doorway, identical to the one in his room. As he touched it, cold shot up his arm. The mother began to bleed, and then he saw her. Catherine drifted in the dark, her body beautiful yet ruined. Her throat bore the shadows of a noose. Her wrists were raw, as though manacles still bound them, and her eyes, hollow and endless, pinned him where he stood. She whispered of betrayal, how Gerrit van Assendelft, her husband, cast her out, how the priest who pretended to save her became her ruin, how she and her lover, turned priest, were executed, yet her soul was never given rest. As she spoke, the cellar groaned. Martijn turned, and in the shadows he saw children, skeletal, with sew lips, pointing at him. He ran, but no matter how many stairs he climbed, he emerged always back in the same cellar, until at last he found the door to his room. It closed behind him with a snap, though he had not touched it. The 3rd night broke him. He woke to find his hands bloody. His notebook was filled with names of people he knew, each scratched over violently. The bricked wall now seeped a black liquid, dripping into the floorboards. Catherine sat on his bed, her beauty monstrous, seductive, unbearable. Her hair brushed his face, her lips full and cruel, hovered near his ear. "You belong to me now," she whispered. "You came here because you wanted to believe you wanted me. You wanted what every man wanted, until they feared it." Martijn shook, torn between terror and desire, and then the bed bucked. The wallpaper bubbled, with faces pressing outward, their mouths screaming silently. The brick wall cracked. From within came a hand, pale, rotten, grasping. Then another, then dozens. Martijn screamed, but no sound came. The caretaker found him at dawn. Martijn sat at his desk, his eyes blank, his notebook filled with words that weren't his. The dead must be fed. He left without a word, his face white, his hands trembling. That night he was seen wandering the streets near the Grote Kerk, muttering Catherine's name. Days later he disappeared. Some say he entered the crypts below the church and never came back. Others whispered that Catherine took him as her lover, binding his soul to hers for eternity. But the house of Assendelft still stands. The door to that room still rattles at midnight, and visitors still wake with cold hands on their skin, and the smell of earth on their pillows. And now, you have heard her story. Catherine, the shamed bride, the betrayed, the executed, she does not rest. She does not forgive. She waits in silence, in the dark corners of your room, in the pause between your breaths. Perhaps, tonight, you will hear the rattle of your own door handle. Perhaps, you will feel the brush of fingers against your forehead. Perhaps, she has already found you, through this story. Do not turn your head too quickly. Do not check the shadows behind you. Because if you do, and she is there, you will never wake again. And then you will belong to Catherine too. Did you hear this story for the first time? Did you hear the tale of Catherine before? Let me know below in the comments. Also check the top 10 of The Hague horror stories that covers this and other stories. Leave a like, as both are helpful with the mysterious algorithm. Share and subscribe if you wish to support the channel. Thanks for watching. To grab the opportunity